Hi guys, it's Ella. Today I have a catch-up book haul for you because I've realized that I do a lot of like unboxing type things, but a lot of the onesie-twosie books that I buy, I don't ever get to show you guys. So this is like a collective, massive, giant pile of books right here. And then I do have an unboxing for you of a box that I got just today. So heads up, this is going to be a long video. You might want to pause it, grab a little snack, maybe a little beverage, whatever, or take a potty break in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so the first book that I have to show you is A Christmas Carol, another Christmas classics by Charles Dickens. And I actually got this a while ago when it was after Christmas, and it was like middle of January, end of January. I have a thing with really old like fairy tale type stories, and so this is a beefy volume. I love this edition. It's all Christmassy on the inside too. That's really nifty. And I could not help myself. It ended up being $4 for this book, and I love them. I love them all. Okay, next up we have Best Loved Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. Again, fairy tale book. Beautiful, beautiful edition. But beautiful edition, this was on sale as well, and I loved it and could not leave the store without it. Okay, next I got The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. And this is the movie tie-in edition. I've heard good stories about this book. This was made into a movie, obviously, since it's a movie tie-in edition cover. And this is an adult book about a guy who's going through some stuff. But I've heard it's really humorous and really a good read. And it is quite short, so I look forward to reading that. Next, we have a book that I even completely forgot that I bought. Oops. And that's Holes by Louis Satcher? Okay. This was also made into a movie. This won some kind of an award. I've also heard really good things about this, and I don't own enough books that have won awards, so there you go. Next up, I don't even know where to start. Okay. This is The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. And it's funny because I literally just today watched a video when somebody was talking about this book, saying that not enough people talk about it. There you go. I am planning on reading this. This also won an award. It is also really short, and I've heard that although the stories inside this book are quite touching and quite on point, the way that they're told is very humorous and very upbeat and easy to read. I have 3.5 stacks of books here that I'm just randomly picking stuff up from. So let's next do a book with like the most gorgeous cover on the face of the planet. Everybody's been talking about this book recently, and I'm going to again join the bandwagon if it comes to this. And that's The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Cover. Let's take a moment. All right. This cover is gorgeous. This is a bind-up, a hardcover bind-up of the Throne of Glass novellas. There are 5 novellas in there, if I am not mistaken. But I am actually waiting to read this. I have read Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight both last month, and I'm waiting to read this kind of somewhere before the 3rd book comes out, just because I need something to tide me over. So, beautiful cover. Short stories. I love it when they're published like this. This is going to look beautiful with the rest of my hardcover books. Next, we have The Ever After by Amy Huntley. And this is another book with an award. This I bought a while ago, and I cannot remember what the synopsis is. I'm guessing it has something to do with death. And I believe it's a contemporary. I don't know. It was also, okay, let's get real. It was also partially a cover by. It's pretty, and I like it. Next we have Goddess by Josephine Angelini. Talk about a shiny, shiny cover. This is the 3rd book in the Star-Crossed trilogy. I own the first one. I thought this was the 2nd one for some reason, and so I bought it, but it's the 3rd one, and I'm missing the 2nd one. I'm such a dummy sometimes. But this is basically based on Greek myth. You can't even see the cover. It's so shiny you can't even see the person on it. But it's basically about Greek gods and that sort of thing. So, except she's a girl, clearly. Next we have Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. And this is a dystopian / post-apocalyptic about a society where laws must be followed. And Article 5 is children are considered valid citizens only when conceived by a married man and wife. I'm guessing this girl or boy, or both on the cover, you see them, weren't conceived by a married couple, and so that's where the story is going. I haven't been reading as much dystopian lately as I probably should be. I've been reading a ton of fantasy, so this is going to be one of the next books that I pick up probably. Next up we have Breaking Point by Kristen Simmons, which is the second book in the Article 5 trilogy. Is that even what it's called? Let's just say it's the... okay. And so I'm guessing... look at the back. That's kind of cool. I love it when the covers get creative with the front and the back, because a lot of the time when the front is pretty, the back is kind of lame. But this is the second book in the series. The third book is out, so I will be picking that one up as well. Next we have If I Should Die by Amy Plum. This was also another cover buy. I know this is the third book in the series, but since it was a hardcover and it was only $3, and I do own the second one, I believe, it only makes sense to buy it. So, also super, super gorgeous cover. Book has seen better days, not happy. Next is The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. Everybody has talked about this. This is a fantasy. Brandon Sanderson, I mean, he writes fantasy, if just saying. The only problem is, and I just realized this, the edges are like smushed that way. Alright, well, I'll be fixing this, but this is about arithmetists, and it's very loosely based, it has something to do with, it's involved with math and drawing with chalk, and it's a fantasy. There we go. Next we have Mind Games by Kirsten White. And this is super pretty cover. This is, I believe, a dystopian about mind readers. Super short, super quick. Definitely something that I'm going to be picking up. Okay, it's less than 250 pages. Well, there you go. Which, the point that I made about this book was, how involved can a story get in 250 pages? But I heard everybody saying good things about this book, so nobody has brought up that fact as a problem, so I look forward to it. I look forward to all my books, actually. Next we have Glass Heart by Amy Garvey, and this is the sequel. Can you even see that? And this is the sequel to Cold Kiss, and this is about a girl. This is the sequel, but the first one is about a girl who her significant other dies and she brings them back to life, and then this is the sequel. I'm kind of digging the cover, even though it's slightly like pink and weird. Let's see if there's anything under the desk. Oh, I am in love. Look at this. Can you see the things that are like engraved in the... awesome. Okay. I just started liking this book a whole lot more. Just saying. Alright, next we have Girl of Nightmares by Kendar Blake. I actually have seen quite a few people haul these books, because this is the second book in the... I've seen quite a few people, you know, haul these books and show these books, but I've never heard any reviews on it or anything. It's the Anna Dressed in Blood duology. Gorgeous cover. I slightly love duologies just because they're short and quick, and I don't get tired of the world as easily, so that's why I picked it up. And this is the second one. Just heads up. You see my growing pile back here? this is a little ridiculous. I know. Need a snack yet? I got a juice box, but I'm not sharing. Next we have 359 by Gretchen McNeil. And this cover is a little jacked up here, yes. But this is about a girl who is having a rough time, and she realizes that every day at 3:59, I don't know if it's every day or every night or every 3:59, but a portal opens to like an alternate universe where she can switch places with her like alternate universe self. And so she does, and then realizes that life isn't all it's cracked up to be on the other side. Kind of a grass is always greener on the other side until, you know, you're there sort of story. I'm really looking forward to this just because it sounds slightly freaky and creepy and I don't know, just interesting. Next we have Requiem by Lauren Oliver. I have read the Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver and I enjoyed it. And I know I've heard mixed things. You either love this trilogy or you hate it. And you know, I want to see what that's all about. I want to see if I love it or I hate it. So this is the third book in the series. I do own the second one somewhere. I think it's on my shelf. I'm pretty sure it's on my shelf. Next we have Hades with a dust jacket that infuriates me. And that's Alexandra by Alexandra Adornado. And this dust jacket, do you see this on top here? Yep, my dust jacket has writing on it. Thanks. That, and this is not a scratch and dent copy. This was not, do not like. But this is the second book in the Halo trilogy. I own both the first one and the last one, so this is the only one that I needed. That is something that I am planning on starting this month, so I'm glad that I got this, even though the dust jacket is written on. And it's about angels, obvi. Next we have Night School by CJ Doherty. Okay, let's be real for a second. Complete cover by, okay? Just being honest. Night School. I don't even know. Like, this cover isn't even all that pretty on the interwebs, but if you look at it closely, there's like the school and then there's a girl walking on the... I don't know, okay? Don't judge me. But, pretty cover, and this is about a girl who basically starts going to a school and then realizes that there's something paranormal going on. Like I said, cover by, I haven't heard anybody talk about this. No, that's a lie. I have heard somebody talk about it, but I can't remember who. And that was only once, and it was brief. So, Night School, looking forward to it. It sounds slightly creepy, and the cover makes it look creepy too. Next we have The Maze Runner by James Dashner. This is the first book in the Maze Runner trilogy. I know that The Kill Order comes before this, but I'm pretty much just sticking to the trilogy at this point. I do own both of the books that come after this. They're already on my shelf, and I'm pointing that way because that's where my shelf is. But I own both the Scorch Trials and the Death Gear, and the reason why I know that, because they're listed on the back. Good job. So I really wanted to read this trilogy. I know that the movie is coming out. I know this is another thing that you either love or hate, but it does seem a little bit more grungy, a little bit more dirty, a little bit more like not as fluffy and a little bit heavier, if you will. So I am looking forward to reading this. Honestly, the preview to the movie, the trailer to the movie made me want to read this. True story. Even though I already owned the two books previously. Next we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I'm not even going to give you a synopsis. Everybody knows what this book is about. There you go. Now I own it too. Then we have Shine by Jerry Smith Reddy. It's one of the... See, why can't publishers just put the number on the spine like Harry Potter? I'm just saying. But this is one of the books in the Shade trilogy. And I think it's called the Shade trilogy, but I own another one in this, or maybe two of them. I clearly own too many books, and I'm starting to lose my mind because I don't know how many I have and what trilogy they belong in and all that other good stuff. So we'll just move on. Now I have Drowned Cities by Paolo Bacigalupi. Now if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I read The Shipbreaker, because this is the sequel to The Shipbreaker, and I wasn't necessarily a fan, and so I said that I wasn't going to pick up the second book. Well, this is the second book, clearly. And the only reason why I own it is because I went to the thrift store and found this impeccable copy for 50 cents. And I already know all the characters that are in here. I know kind of the basis of the story. So I figured, okay, maybe the first book was just build up, and then this book is going to be all the action and all that. Also not something that I've heard many people talk about, but I have it. And no, it's not going to match because I own Shipbreaker in the other cover and in hardcover. So it's going to be looking a mess, but that's alright. It's the story inside that counts. And hopefully it's good because otherwise I'm gonna cry. Okay, next we have Override by Heather Anastasiou. And that is the second book in the Glitch trilogy. I did haul Glitch recently, and it was the one with the purple cover and the girl had like a thing on her neck or whatever. This is the second book, so I have no idea what it's about because I don't want to read the back because I don't want to spoil myself for the first one. Ooh. Then we have Delirium Stories by Lauren Oliver, which is a bind up of the short stories from the Delirium series, clearly. And I believe there's 3 of them in there if I'm not mistaken. At this point, this has like become a game. Like, how far can I get it before it falls and I die? Okay, next we have Delirium by Lauren Oliver. That is the first book in the Delirium trilogy, but pretty cover. Again, Delirium. It's basically a dystopian about a world where love is considered to be a plague. So when you reach a certain age, you get a shot against it, like the vaccine against it. And this girl apparently falls in love. And it's her story. Alright. Then we have 2 more books, and then we're gonna do the unboxing. I swear. Okay, and this is a book that I already talked about in my TBR for this month. It's Let the Storm Break by Shannon Messenger. This is the second book in the Let the Sky Fall series or trilogy, or Goodreads is not willing to tell me how many of these there are. This is a book about sylphs, which are like wind spirits, and it's about Vane and Audra and their story and their love. And there's one thing that I have to say about this book. Although the story isn't super engaging, it is fluffy and it is cute, and it is... I shouldn't say that the story is not engaging. The story is engaging. The way it's written is a little bit weird. This reads more like a middle grade novel, I want to say, just because some of the verbiage and some of the mannerisms of the characters, it just reads a little bit young, but still a cute story. I definitely wanted to pick this up just because I wanted to see where the author would take it, and I'm guessing there's going to be another book because everything's a trilogy. Oh god. Okay. Next, we have a book that I've been looking forward to for so long, and that is The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black. I know, this has been out forever. I know. But I just got around to buying it. I did start reading it. I'm not very far in. I'm only like 70 pages in. So far the story is just getting going, obviously, since it is quite a good-sized book. But I do have to say, just the 70 pages that I've read, Holly Black's writing, I'm completely like, mind is blown. Just, I have never read anything like her writing before. It's so beautiful. It's so poetic. It's so great. I'm gonna tell you more about this book in my wrap-up. We're gonna just open the box now. Okay. I do have a knife, because last time I didn't bring one. I almost poked my own eye out. That was not a good time. Ooh, okay. There should be, if I'm not mistaken, 4 books in here. It's been so long, I have no idea what they are. Stuff. Nobody cares. Okay. Ah, yes. First, we have Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake. And this is the first book in the Anna Dressed in Blood duology. But it's there, so now I have the whole duology, so I can marathon this. I'll probably marathon it next month because I've wanted these books for so long. And although the cover is creepy, it's so pretty. But this is about a guy who is a ghost hunter, and he falls in love with a girl that is a ghost. Obviously. So, I'm looking forward. Okay. Next, we have a book that I wanted in hardcover really bad, but finally settled for the soft cover because that's apparently all I'm gonna get. And that is The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. And this, again, I've seen everybody and their mom haul this, but nobody ever talks about it. So, you best believe when I finally read this, you're gonna get a review. Because, dang it, that's how I roll. But I don't know, I've heard good things about this. This is basically about a girl whose dad goes crazy. And then, I don't know, other than that, I don't know. I know, I just, so much insight into these. And I believe the second one just came out, and I'm not sure if it's a duology or a trilogy, but this is not a standalone. However, better hold on to your shit, guys, because I'm about to blow your mind. So I have 2 more books to show you, and they are both YA standalones. That's right, they're standalones. Standalones. Okay, and the next one is Voices of Dragons by Carrie Vaughn. And this is a standalone about a girl who I'm guessing can talk to dragons. I slightly love dragon books. I can't help it. It's a thing. But this is a standalone, at least as far as I know it's a standalone, just because when I checked it on Goodreads, that's what it said, that it was a standalone. Oh god. This is not gonna end well. Okay, this is definitely not gonna end well. My book tower is falling. Stay. Okay. And the next one is The Unidentified by Ray Maris. I believe it is about a dystopian society, and this book is short. Like, this is no joke. This is about a society that's basically constantly watched. It's like one big, it's 300 pages. It's one big, like, market study. Just basically studying their behaviors and studying, like, how they react to games and things like that. So since it is a standalone, I definitely look forward to it. Just something different, something new. I haven't seen anything that resembles a concept like this one, so we'll see how it is. Okay, so I just hauled, 31 books. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you plan on reading any of these books, if you can hear that beeping. Oh my god, okay. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or let me know which ones you would like to see reviews of. But you can pretty much bet that if you've heard me say, I don't ever hear anybody talk about this book, but I've seen everybody haul it, chances are pretty high that I'm just gonna go ahead and review it. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, you know where all that stuff goes. I hope you have a good night. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!